So recently you posted a video on Facebook, journaling for athlete development. As an athlete, I'd love to hear about that.
So I came up with this idea, and I had this whole list of things. How did you feel, good or bad? How did was your cardio good, not good? How did the coach do? Thought the coach was good. Who was the primary coach today? That kind of thing. And then I would, just have him, ask some specific questions, and then I'd let him free journal. And what I noticed is it helped me understand where their head was at, so I could address that in class, right? So if they're unconfident about something, or because sometimes they write stuff, but you read between the lines, and little Johnny keeps smashing me, and I can't beat him. What do I do? I feel too slow, or I feel this. A lot of self-insecurities. It's kind of the stuff we talked about. So it gives me a chance to know what's on their mind, and I can address that. But more importantly, the most important thing that I noticed. So say I got a good athlete. If she's doing really well, and I'm working on one specific thing, say I'm trying to make her fast at something. I don't know, just as an example. What I notice is, even if I said something, man, you're really fast today. They might have me fast. In the journaling, what they write, I feel like I've been faster. So if you say, you're too slow, or that's not fast enough, and you don't qualify it and properly get in their head, then they go home and write, I'm just too slow, I'm frustrated. Right, so what's interesting is I don't think coaches and people in general realize how easily the brain is swayed, especially when you're in a coach's role. I can literally change your own perception of yourself. If I talk to you long enough and I could notch that way, I could actually get you doubting things about yourself by the way I said things. Or I could also, and I generally, this is my route, I generally do things to build people up, right? I don't lie. I pick something I don't have to lie about, because again, I'm not really big on false. I like people to earn what they get. But, so I really, not only did I like the journaling for that and to see what kind of, what they were thinking, because they see a lot of good things, if they're seeing the game and things like that. But I also figured out how much I can affect their self-value, self-worth. And I just think a lot of coaches don't get, even if they don't mean to, I don't think they get it. Just like the ones that, are upset when you lose. They try to hide it, but the athlete knows they're upset. And they know that they think it reflects on the coach, and then that just can't happen. I literally sit down in the chair, and the last thing I tell myself before a match, take a deep breath, and I just tell myself, coach the exchange. Don't care if they win or lose. Coach the exchange. I have to do that, because I am wrapped up. I'm invested with them, right? But I even had another coach tell me, God, I got to practice it. I actually wish I could do that. Or he actually told me, one guy told me, he says, you really don't care if they lose. Like, you say that, but he goes, I believe you, that you don't care if they lose. And I don't want them to lose. I want them to, but if they lose, it's just it's an iteration, right? So I just think that it's helped me understand the athletes, and then I can be better with their mindset, right? And, I've studied my I call her my sister, because I had no brothers or sisters. I was on my own at 17. My dad was dead, and no mom. So, my aunt did some things for me. I went and hung out with them and stuff like that. So my nearest thing to a sister is my cousin Deanna and my cousin Eric, right? They're like brother and sister to me. And she recently has done hypnotism, and I thought it was a joke. And then she sat me down and says, no, you don't understand. Just a coach getting an athlete to believe in themselves. You don't realize that's a form of hypnotism. Hypnotism, just like in my video I said, it's if you really want something, or you want to think something bad, your brain will come up with evidence, true or not, to that end. If you want something positive, really want it, then your brain will also come up with evidence, true or false. See, that's what we don't get. Are we lie to ourselves? Right? Like what I said earlier, to come to that end. Another thing that a buddy of mine told me years and years ago is, anybody can do anything, good or bad, heinous or not, once they justify it. So once you can justify something, especially something bad, that's why we have to be very careful about bad habits, because once you justify it, you'll do it. And once you make a mistake or do something bad, then you can say, well, I've already did it once. Say it's stealing. Well, I'm already a thief, I already stole once. I'll just do it again. No. So there's all sorts of psychology. So really what actual hypnosis is basically taking your desire and helping you accumulate those positive affirmations to get that done. Whether it be quit smoking, whether it be, to have confidence. So those are things, and I learned that from her. She's helped me learn that. Now, I have a lot of innate feelings about that when she told me how it worked, I ran with it. It was very easy for me to adapt. Yeah. But that's because I stopped thinking of it like magic. It's not magic, But that's why there's so many people they might be able to do ridiculous things. Like, there's zero logic. That's because of those factors and the people around them and what makes it normal. And, you know, it's all different types of psychology.